Normally every morning I start my day with a nice cup of coffee, but since there's no coffee machine on Good Times, I at least had these caffeinated drinks. And I had a beautiful place to enjoy this caffeinated drink. So life really wasn't so bad. Just like when you're heading out to go fishing in the morning, you never really know what you're going to encounter once you're out there. We are untied. The best you can do is just have level-headed people with you. Captain?
Yep. Have a day, thank you.
Between the two of us, I think we were ready to handle any situation. And we were about to encounter our first situation of the day. Hang that steering, bro. If Mike didn't put it in reverse pretty heavy right now, we would have hit the wall. And that's the most we had stressed the drivetrain since we had hit rocks in Okeechobee. Something was definitely wrong with the steering. That's strange.
Yeah, I gotta get in the water, man. Gators everywhere.
This type of steering that's on this boat, though, sometimes corrects itself. I, for one, am not a fan of it. Wow, that reverse ain't working worth a darn, is it? There it is. But the solution can be an easy one. First, we needed to get out of here. I might have turned around at this point, but Mike was dead set on making progress. So we tried to head out. Steering or no steering. Mike was able to maneuver the boat just using the engines. If it's pulling to the right, you just put the port motor into reverse and it'll correct your positioning. Just like you do when you're docking.
Trying to get out of here.
Yeah. It just took us a long time to get out of this little skinny rock-filled channel.
I guess the pump could have went down. Or it's not pumping properly.
Right.
I probably could just, maybe it's just that.
Pump it back up.
It worked fine coming in, so there's no reason to believe there's any damage of it.
Right. Once we got out to the Caloosahatchee, it was absolutely beautiful. And if you gotta have a place to do repairs, this looked like a real nice place to do it. The repair was really simple. The steering runs on a pressurized system that you can pump up with air. Mike was down below when I came back and had it finished before I could even get it on camera. A little bit of extra pressure and the steering was working again.
I did her wrong yesterday, hitting the wall, hitting the rock. Did my girl wrong. Still taking care of it.
Now finally we were back underway. West on the Caloosahatchee River, which had lots of creatures that I wasn't used to seeing. This is not a place you want to fall in the water. That's a man-sized gator right there. I don't do too much freshwater stuff, so... and this is why. Might be gripping this rail a little tighter this morning than normal. really weren't underway very long before we got to our first place of interest, the Ortona Lock.
Lock tender, this is the vessel. Good times. What's your opening schedule?
The weather was just gorgeous this morning, and as we waited for a green light to enter the lock, we had magnificent views. It's funny how you notice little subtle differences between fresh water and salt water. Back home there'd be sheepshead all over that. And barnacles. Perhaps it's just new construction, or perhaps it's because of the fresh water that there wasn't a lot of growth on there. Either way, I found it pretty surprising. The locks in general I find to be pretty awesome places. Amazing feats of human engineering. Big hinge. Mike and I were quickly becoming quite comfortable going through the locks.
Okay, going down 8 feet. Thanks, sir.
8 feet was a long way to get flushed out on this one, so we held on tight. Ready? Again, I marveled at the engineering of the dock. Where the water flushes out, it made a big hole on the river floor, and around that hole there was all kinds of wildlife.
Yep, this is, I suspect, a big old hole right there.
Fish on top of it too.
And went back up. Was that fish or gator fish?
Fish. They look like mullets. Well, this morning, Mike is downstairs cooking while I'm up here driving. That loud noise in the background is the generator. That's so we can have the hot plate going and all that good stuff while we're underway. The boat is steering nice. You see from our wake, we're going nice and straight. We're doing 5.5 miles an hour, give or take. We should be able to get to where we want to go eventually. Maybe not at the same time, but hey man, you wouldn't have adventures if there wasn't at least a little bit of adversity, right? So we're just trucking along. It's starting to smell good here, so I'm anticipating breakfast very shortly. What a beautiful sight. It's a very cool thing to have all these amenities on a boat while you're underway. It's something you don't get to experience if you only go out on small boats. And of course the journey that we were able to go on was pretty epic. We'll stop in here real quick, see if we can get some fuel. But it required a lot of gasoline. Morning.
Gas or diesel?
Gasoline.
Gasoline, that's what I thought.
This wound up being a pretty cool place to stop because they had a lot of things that we could use. Here Mike's hanging out the window because the gas cap on his boat is right on the side. There was also a cap on the side of the boat for a different type of liquid, one that was a lot cheaper, and it's important not to confuse the two. As Mike went to pay for the fuel, I filled up the fresh water tanks, and then shortly thereafter Mike swung the boat around so we could access another important cap on the other side of the boat. The machine for pumping out the sewage reminded me of something. A movie, perhaps? It's a dirty job, but at least they had a hose there for cleaning things up. Nasty.
Alright, now it's back underway. We got hamburgers, we got cheeseburgers, we got hot dogs. What you want? You want fries for that?
Yeah, I want a large fry.
Okay.
And you have apple pies?
No, we don't have
Man,
apple pies.
I've never had apple pies.
We got moon pies.
I want a large helping of adventure. You got that?
Got that.
Yes, he does. As we kept on going west along the Caloosahatchee River, we saw some things along the way that were kind of interesting. But it is the middle of the state, so even little bridges become points of interest. It can be a little bit boring as you just chug along, mile after mile after mile. And if you do your research, you'll pretty much know what's coming up ahead of you. Or you can just wing it like we did. We got us a little swing bridge coming up. Looks like we're probably gonna have to call. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna fit under that one. Let's see if I can. Use my spyglass here to zoom in on it.
9 foot, low antenna, soft tops, one way, clearance 9 feet.
Doesn't say anything about a channel or... Oh, there it is. Fort Dene, Channel 9.
Fort Dene Swing Bridge. This is the vessel Good Times.
Turn it up. So, good morning, Captain.
What's the schedule on opening?
I can open right away. I'll be right out.
Copy that. Thank you, ma'am.
Discovering bridges and locks along the way worked out just great for us. We're not a sailboat, so we didn't have to worry about anything really major as far as fitting under here or there. And it was kind of neat to just stumble upon these things every now and then. Again, research can be done ahead of time so you know what channel to call, what bridge, and there'll be less of a mystery. But it's really not necessary. Sometimes you just need to get out there and do it and see what lies ahead down this river of life. Alright, coming up to another lock. This is Franklin Lock. Little go fast guy. You gotta be on 13.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Lockmaster. This is the vessel Good Times, Channel 13.
This is Franklin Lock. Are you the westbound vessel?
That's permanent.
I'll roger that. I'll get the gates open here in just a moment. Just wait until you get a green light. When you come in, you can grab lines on either side. You're only going to go down less than 1 foot right now.
Copy that. Thank you, ma'am.
The deck is getting hot.
Is it?
Yes, indeed. Stand on the rope so my feet don't get burned.
Should be a quick lock.
Yeah, 1 foot. Just open them up.
Yep,
Let us go.
keep on going.
Yeah.
Close it behind us.
Right? Got it? Ooh. Boink. What do you think? That might be our last lock.
I think that it is.
Next up, the Gulf.
Nothing can stop us. We can go anywhere around the world we want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Where you want to go?
I want to go to
Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay.
Okay, Tampa Bay. Well, we can go anywhere around the world.
Marty's place in Tampa.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. We heading that way.
At the time that this was filmed, Marty's place in Tampa was just starting and things were going very slow. Kind of like this boat on this journey. Okay, so you know your boat's going slow when you're getting passed by a sailboat. Hopefully that sailboat captain wasn't getting too cocky though, because Mike was telling me about a classic story that was about to apply to this very situation. What was the story again?
This is the classic story of the hare and the turtle. In this case, we're the turtle and they're the hare. But normally we're the hare and they're the turtle. But right now it's all switched around. And that's why we're going to beat them through this bridge.
That's right.
We're going to pass them.
Slow and steady wins the race,
Slow and
people.
steady wins the race.
Yep, that's right, all you sailboat people. Read it and weep. We're only about 18 feet tall. We could slip under the bridge, no problemo. That sailboat captain might have passed us again somewhere along the way, I don't know, I can't remember. But it didn't matter, we were making progress. And things were starting to look a little bit more familiar the further we got. Coming up on I-75. I've driven on that bridge many times, but I've never seen it from the water. I know I've been over that bridge, and I've looked down on this water and I thought to myself, man, I'd love to be down there. Here we are. Super cool. Having passed I-75, which I knew pretty well, I started to think about home a little bit more, and all the landmarks that showed themselves as we trucked along all had names that were a little bit familiar to me. Mike's up there trying to get reservations for a marina at the end of the river. As we go under these bridges here, one of which he says is US 41. I lived off of US 41 for a long time. It didn't look like this. Pit stop, we're going to get some fuel real quick before we proceed. This is Fort Myers Yacht Basin. We got in and out of this place rather quickly. We got our fuel and we got some refreshments from their store. And then we were back on our way. Thank you guys.
Oh boy. Good deal.
Here we knew we were getting close to the Gulf of Mexico. Up ahead we go under the Veterans Parkway and the Midpoint Bridge. And then we were approaching the Cape Coral Bridge, which would be the last bridge on the Caloosahatchee River. Alright, we're finally starting to see some weather. Over there in the distance there's definitely rain falling. And those clouds on radar are coming towards us. But under that bridge somewhere is our marina for the night. So we're thinking we're going to be okay. Don't mess with Mother Nature. She'll tell you what to do. Doesn't matter what your plans are, you gotta listen to Mother Nature. We had enough daylight to travel a little bit further, and we weren't opposed to traveling at night, but we really didn't want to get rained on, so this was going to be it for today. Alright, here we are, coming up to, including the first day, day 4, coming to an end. We are heading in. I'm going to put all the cameras away. There's rain right there, so the windows are shut, hatches are closed, just in case it starts raining on us. And hopefully we can find our room for the night. Well, we're on our room, but we need to find our land for the night. Water for the night. Something like that. Beat the rain.
Another successful day.
Oh yeah. We got power, man. We got power. We got shelter. We got sunshine. We got fish to eat.
She might have said Wi-Fi is the phone number, maybe? I can't remember if that was here or the other place. But I think they may have Wi-Fi. The name of the place and then this.
What is the name of this place?
Sure we're going to find it written on something.
Jerry's Marina.
Yeah.
No? Bob's Marina.
Nope.
No? Alfonso's Marina.
That might be it.
That sounds fancy. It's probably Alfonso's. Got some rocks for you, dude.
I think that's what we get in Lake Okeechobee.
Bad rocks. Bad.
What they dug out of the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Same sort of thing.
It really was impressive how we had dodged the rain so far. We got to walk around and do a tour of the marina before it started raining here this day. It was a gentle rain, not too much storm and wind, but if you're out and about on the boat and this type of thing hits, it's usually not fun. So far, we were really blessed with the weather we were getting. While it rained, Mike and I stayed inside and we cooked up the rest of the mackerel that we had caught on day one of this journey. This guy really likes to cook, and he's good at it. Thank goodness, because I am not good at cooking.
Got a little egg wash going on.
Got a nice view out of the window.
It's really a tough life, this boating life.
It's easy, but you got to be tough.
You
I
got
think that's the thing.
It's all perspective.
Like Mike said earlier, it was the end of another successful day. The boat was damaged, but we were able to continue going on our journey. We had some good food, and we were looking forward to the next day when we would start again, this time going north up the west coast of Florida and on our way home. Hope you guys will join me for that video coming up soon.